Here's our guy, CJ Gardner Johnson. Now, he's one of the new Lions that I'm most excited about. Number one, he's a really good player. Number two, he comes in at a position of need in the defensive backfield. And number three, and what I'm going to show you today, at OTAs, this guy's already making his presence felt, being vocal. And I think really what he's going to do is raise just the overall confidence of our defense. And every player is going to play that much better just because of his confidence. And you'll see here just in a second what I'm talking about. So let me know in the comments your thoughts on CJ Gardner Johnson. Was this like your most favorite acquisition of the offseason, or was there somebody else? Let me know in the comments. He was my number one. CJ Gardner Johnson is just going to be huge for us. He plays so hard. To get him at the price we did, position of need, all those things really checks a lot of boxes. And by the way, he just literally looks scary out there. So like in his uniform, not there. I mean, a little bit, I guess, but with the jet black visor, oh my gosh. Number 2, single digit. He looks fast. He looks strong. Man. And that's just his literal looks, not even getting to like what he had to say. Like, that's the guy you want on your team in the defensive backfield, staring down opposing receivers, looking at Kirk Cousins. I mean, let's go. Justin Fields, what are you going to do? Okay, here's what he said about day one of OTAs. He said, people heard me today, and I'm going to tell you why. It's more bringing the intensity. You're going to see it in a game is what you're going to see 24/7 at practice. I practice how I play. So I can't go out there and do my stuff and be me and get under guys' skin. I don't think I'd be at my best. So he's saying if I can't go out there, talk crap, be active, get things going, be at a high level, then that's not going to be at his best, and that's not what he wants to do. So he also mentioned Marvin Jones Jr. Remember, Marvin Jones comes back to us. He went from, hey, nice, we got Marvin Jones, to Jameson Williams gets suspended. Now, Marvin, we need you, man. He's our primary outside receiver. And he said, Gardner Johnson said, me and Marvin Jones got this friendly thing going in practice. Like, you get the receivers going, I'll get the DBs going. And he said, so I think that's my favorite teammate because he's going to push and he's a vet. And then he was talking to Montgomery. Montgomery was right there for me as like one of the biggest acquisition. I was never a believer in Jamal Williams. Jamal Williams was an average back that got a lot of touchdowns because we were on the 1 yard line. I mean, right? Like, he's an average back that got a lot of attention because he says a lot of he acts differently than a lot of guys, and he says a lot of things, so he got a lot of attention. Jamal Williams is an average back. Montgomery's a really good back. Montgomery said, everybody around here, the coaches, the players, everybody's bought in already, and I just got here. So he's like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. Everybody's ready to roll, and I'm just got here. He's like, it's just one of those things when you first get here, just me knowing who I am. It's not about me catching up. It's more about, all right, this is the kind of morale everyone has around here, so I've got to be the same way. It's year 3 of Dan Campbell. There's a lot of confidence, and it helped tremendously that we won last year. But it's all about, man, these guys aren't playing around. They set the bar super high. So guys like Aaron Glenn, Dan Campbell, of course, Ben Johnson. Like, that's the thing about Ben Johnson. Talk about him being like real smart and stuff. This dude wants to win. Everybody wants to win so bad. And look, everybody does, everybody in the league, but I think there is a little something special about everybody gets the Detroit Lions story. Everybody understands that the Lions have not been good for years, up and down, whatever. Now all of a sudden, boom, we are legitimately good. This isn't fool's gold. It's not Stafford just throwing the ball up to Kelvin Johnson and sneaking out the season with 7-8 wins. You know, this is a sustained thing that can happen. So he said, I haven't been anywhere where it's like that, and it's a really good team. And he said everybody wants to work, and I really like that. So I can't wait to see CJ Gardner Johnson and Montgomery. So the fact that those guys were talking to each other, they had a little interview thing going on about day 1 of training camp. It's awesome. So it's hard to find people that really want to work. And he said, and then he talked about the offense. Montgomery said, what I saw today, we can be very, very, very explosive. It's more than just one weapon. That's what's scary. Here's what's scary for me, speaking David Montgomery, when you talk about the offense. I've really kind of dug in on this. Jamal Williams is average. Swift tiptoed and didn't hit the holes. So we didn't have a running back. We didn't have a good backfield, and we still were a top 3 offense. Ben Johnson, the way he orchestrates the offense, he wants to run the ball. It's a huge part of football, but he's not gonna he does it creatively. And there were some big holes last year that, hey, Jamal Williams had a good year. Swift hit some runs, right? But I think if you have a really good running back in Montgomery, you've got a real explosive, physical guy in Jahmyr Gibbs. I think there's a lot more there in the running game. And if the running game starts opening up, then the pass game even more with St. Brown. I mean, it's just and part of me thinks we're just scratching the surface. And part of me thinks, and I know that our running back room was not good last year. Jamal Williams, we let him walk. And we show it by what we did this offseason. We let Jamal Williams walk, and then we trade Swift for basically nothing. He's always hurt, and when he's not hurt, he doesn't hit the holes. He tiptoes. He hits the wrong holes. How many times did we just see it last year in Hard Knocks where it's like, dude, you're not hit up the middle, hit it inside. It was time to go. So I'm just really excited about what this offense can do, because we think, man, we're top 3 outlets. Let's be top 10 offense. Like, well, what if we can be better? I think we can. I think it starts with the running game, and that's football. You got to be able to run the ball, and you got to be able to stop the run. That's football. It always will be. And so I think we're in great shape with the new running backs that we have. So to see Montgomery talking about it, to see CJ Gardner Johnson, I mean, right there, that's 2 big time improvements, one on each side of the ball. You throw in Jack Campbell on defense. That's the linebacker position, something we need. You throw in Mosley. You throw in Sutton. Man, it's like, what am I looking at here? Look, every offseason you get excited. Every NFL team is excited. Every NFL franchise or fans are excited. But when you win, when all I've seen for the last 10 games is 8 wins, all of which were pretty dominant, by the way. If you look back at last season, I mean, we had the Jets game where we, scored on 4th and 1 and sneak that one out on the road, but dominate the Bears at home at the end, dominate the Vikings, dominate the Giants. Man, we're right there. Had the win in our hands against the Bills. It was at home, but still, it wasn't that we were winning. It was how we were winning, that it's sustainable, that it's a solid team, all that stuff. Even again, I always bring up the Kelvin Stafford era. That was just, there was some winning in there, but it never felt great. It just, what's going on here? It was just heroics by Stafford and Kelvin a lot of times, or Golden Tate. Just how did we win that? And it was fun and it was great, but this seems more real and the longevity's there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. OTAs are kicking off. It's a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what else comes from OTAs, because there's a lot coming from it. And we'll see all of you on the next